I be your good friend, your dog. Me and my good friend, cooler than flamingos on the beach. Sand, better than the glove on the cane. Hand in sync like we in the 90s band. Yeah. Hey, what you doing? How your day been? Say, what we gonna talk about today, man?
What's up, good friends?
What's going on, people?
My name is Ashley.
I'm Nikki.
And we are your good friends on the Good Friend Podcast. And today we are coming with a subject. What's the name of today's episode?
I miss my friend.
I miss my friend. I really miss my home. Yeah.
Don't you do it?
And we are doing this episode because we feel like people don't talk about this enough. Like, they tell you, you walk away from people, or people walk away from you, and you're supposed to just move on and be okay. But sometimes we don't be okay. And we're going to talk about that aspect of everything today. Now, first, I want to ask.
Yes,
Every time I say I want to ask, you be like,
yeah.
Like I be up to stuff.
You do.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
What does friendship look like to you, friend? What you looking for in your pocket?
I was not looking for that. I was looking for my advice. But no, to me, friendship is loving, supportive. Friends pray for each other. Friendships are fun, and there's reciprocity in that as well. Yeah.
RESPECT.
That's respect. Respect.
Respect, too.
You gotta respect each other when you're friends. Yeah.
Okay. So, have you had any friendships that you miss, or like in the past or present?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, tell me about it. Tell us about it.
No,
We'd
I
like
mean,
to get here to go.
There's friendships that I guess I say that I don't want to say we're no longer friends, but it kind of feels like we're no longer friends because there's an aspect of how to put it. I'll just say there's distance. So for that, I feel like that's what makes me miss them because like we got history. We've been friends for years and
Like how long?
what is it? 2025. Ooh, at least 10, 11 years. I would say that's at the least.
Okay.
At the least.
Okay.
So, I guess because of that, we were close, and now it's like no longer feels like we have that closeness anymore. And I'm assuming it's just probably due to I would make the assumption say it's due to like for me because I don't know what's going on in their lives, but for me it's just transitioning. A lot of changes been taking place in my life. I won't use it as an excuse to say like, okay, well, that's a reason for me to not be friends. But I feel like when I was going through the stuff that I was going through and the changes that were taking place in my life, it almost feels as if they were slowly becoming distant at the same time. And we just haven't really talked
about it.
So
it just sounds like y'all in different places.
I think we are in different places, and it's almost as if they kind of know. It feels as if they might, but it's just not being spoken on. Like I don't know because I haven't said anything to them, but I don't know if they just kind of assuming like, well, she doing her own thing. She ain't the same. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know if they think like she ain't the same person no more. So
what gave you what make you think they have said she's not the same though?
I don't think that that's why I said I don't know. I said they could have.
Know.
I don't know what they've said. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're saying. It's just no communication. So it's easy to I can make up anything. When you don't have any communication, you're not speaking to each other in that way. It's like I don't know what they feel. They don't know what I feel. you know. So it's like,
So it's like, what do you do when you're in a different season in life and you have friends, but now you're distant because of whatever transition you're in or whatever season that you're in? Like,
right.
how does that feel? Like, how do you deal with stuff like that?
Honestly, I kind of just been, I probably just been dealing with it in a way where I I want to say ignoring it in a sense, but um I think I get caught up in the idea. I get caught up in like saying, well, they haven't hit me up, so I ain't gonna hit them up. You know what I'm saying? That's just me being honest. I shouldn't probably have that attitude, but that's just how I feel because I feel like I haven't given them a reason to not hit me up. It's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like in that I kind of just let it do what it's gonna do. If
Fizzle out?
If it's fizzle out, it fizzle out. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know how to deal with it. I mean, yeah, I agree with the friendships because those are my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I still care about them. You know what I mean? So it's not like I have a hatred. It's no hatred. It's no dislike. It's none of that. It's just I'm in a different space. I've made some changes. Some changes that I plan to stick with. And
So your changes, is that keeping you away from your friends, or like explain to
Like-
me from your situation, how that causes you to get to the place of where you miss your friend? Like, what's going on, the changes with you where you feel like it's kind of separating you from people that you've known for a long time?
right. So basically, you know, I've been. There was a time where I used to party a lot, used to drink a lot. You know, I lived a lifestyle that I not right. I'm gonna say that because it's not right. But that that's pretty much what's keeping me away because I feel like if I put myself in those situations, if I put myself in those atmospheres, that type of environment, there's a possibility that I could
Go
revert
back
back
to
to
where
a
you trying to
lifestyle
stay
where I'm
away
trying to
from.
stay away from. Like, you
Gotcha.
know, it's and then it's not nothing against them at all. It's just that I have to do what I have to do to make sure that I stay on the path that I'm trying to stay on. Because it's easy to do wrong in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easy to do wrong in life, and I just, you know, like I said, it's definitely nothing against them.
Are you worried that they're offended about that? Or
No,
you think they'll understand?
that's a good question. Now it has crossed my mind that there could be offense. I feel like I have friends that are mature enough to be understanding, but then again, I don't know because there's that thought like, well, what would they think that I think I'm better than them? Like, would they think that I'm just, you know what I mean? Like I can't say I'm the same Nikki because I'm not the same Nikki, but I still love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't out here saying like, oh man, bump them, like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess that would be something that I would have to really talk to them about because I don't know what they feel.
You think they should come on the show? Y'all should come on the show.
If they want to come, if y'all want to listen, if y'all want to come on the show, feel free
Y'all can have my seat.
to come on the show and we can talk about it. If we can talk about it.
Look at you.
We can talk about
We
it.
can talk about it. Look at you.
We can talk about it. So until then, you know, until there's a conversation, it's all up in the air.
Yeah.
It's all up in the air.
But you miss them.
I do miss them.
Nonetheless.
I do miss them. I do miss them. But I miss them. My dogs. That was my dogs, you know. I miss them.
So sometimes you have to grieve.
Yeah.
You may have to grieve friendships because of
Changes. Just like we always say, you go in different directions. You know, sometimes you will go in different directions as your friend. Sometimes you know, it's never to say, oh, it's a bad thing or they are just bad people. Because I'm pretty sure if something was changing in their lives, you know, they would make the necessary changes that they would need to make as well. This just happened to be something that I have to do for me in order for me to grow.
Right.
And, you know, so
I remember you. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
we'll do that then. Because you always tend to want to do that anyway.
Well, I remember you texting me about an outing. I don't know whose outing it was. I don't know if it was a birthday or whatever.
Yeah.
And you were like, I hate to not go celebrate. But you was like, I don't want to go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to go because I know where they're going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I remember asking you, like, is that something that you think is going to set you back? And you was like, well, no, but then again, you just don't want to be triggered.
Yeah. Right.
It's like one of them situations.
It's absolutely one of those situations. Like, it's one of those situations. It's the thing is, you don't really know what would trigger you until you're put in that situation.
In the situation.
And during that time, well, this was last year, I think it was. During that time, I can't really fully say that I was strong enough to even be around all of that.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't. I was new to, you know, this walk and, you know, life changes and all that. So it wasn't like, yeah, no. Yeah, no.
So basically, to keep yourself safe, sometimes you might actually have to say no to the people that you love because they may still be interacting or in those places and people, places, and things that
that you just not trying to be a part of. And I'll just say that. You're just not trying to be a part of. So
Okay. So I actually am in a season where I've been grieving a friendship also. This one wasn't due to, you know, changes or transitioning, you know, to another place in life or anything like this. This one more so had to do with what you mentioned earlier about reciprocity.
right.
Being, I could say being loving was fine, but I'm really big on reciprocity. I do a lot for people.
You do?
So you don't have to do the same things that I do.
Right.
But it got to be something to where it doesn't feel like it's one-sided to me.
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with that in intimate relationships. What I want to deal with it in my friendship for,
Right.
like,
Right.
I can't do that.
Right.
I knew this person for like, I want to say about 12, 13 years. We were friends for about 12, 13. I can't, it's a long time.
Right.
And this person, you know, I can't say they've been bad because she's helped me get like 2 or 3 jobs. Like she was my manager one time. And I appreciate her for that. But I think it felt like it was transactional. I was going to say transactional to me. And I say that because she has been in other friendships where people have walked away from her, and that has caused her to tuck away. And I understood that. And I didn't mind being there because I knew I was solid. So in my head, I'm like, she know I'm solid, so we good. But that doesn't work like that when people have had a traumatic experience with other people. And I think that she may have self-sabotaged our friendship. And it's one of those things where I always felt like I was going over to her house all the time to chill. Like if I wanted to chill or she wanted to chill, I was over there. even with going to school and traveling all the way from Kennesaw after work, I had that job. It was horrible. Coming back after 8 o'clock at night and stuff like that, and still having to drive over to her way to hang out. And I was like, hey, you got to come over here a little bit because I'm zipping from here and there with school and work and like, come on. Even like with birthday situations, like I was giving up time that I could have been celebrating my birthday and celebrating hers.
Right.
Because in my head, I'm like, okay, I can tell she really wants somebody to celebrate her. I don't mind doing it. It don't bother me. But it started to bother me because I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Right.
And it was an instance because I did talk to her about that, and she was like, it was gonna get better. And I started laying boundaries then. Like if it don't get better, then I'm gonna stay over here. And that's what happened. I was staying over here, but we were still talking and on the phone, and like she know everything about me. I'm gonna say I know everything about her. I don't know. She may have hid some stuff. I'm not sure. But as good as friends could be in my head. And what it really boiled down to me is I've always tried to celebrate her the best way I knew how to. And my wedding came around, and she was supposed to be in my wedding. Like, why would I not want her in my wedding? Okay. She told me now she won't be able to be in the wedding, right? I'm laughing, but in my head, I'm like, what? She said she was gonna take a trip for her birthday, which our birthdays are right back to back. Mine, hers,
Right.
and then the wedding. It's like days right after that, and so in my mind, it's like, okay, I kind of understand, but I had a homeboy come to the wedding, and his anniversary was around my wedding time, and him and his wife made a trip out of it. I was like, dang, I respect that. But my friend wasn't going to come at all. And in my head, I was like, man, I'm going to have a problem if she don't show up to this wedding, because it's not like I'm going to have a wedding every year. It's just this year. You don't have to come and celebrate the anniversary with me. So she ended up talking to somebody. I think somebody asked her a question. I won't say what it was. But she called me and she asked me, would I have a problem? I told her, yeah. I said, we actually was going to have an issue if that wedding came and you weren't there. And she was like, She's like, okay. So after that conversation, her and her family came. She said she was glad that they came and everything. I still didn't really see her after that.
So like, when the wedding was over,
Just went back to
just how everything was
before. And I had a bad pregnancy. Like I was sick. I didn't see her or this other person that was supposed to be my friend, because I walked away from 2 friendships at one time. And I didn't really see neither one of them during the pregnancy. They ended up coming to the shower. They did come to the shower, and then they left. I was in the hospital for like a couple weeks before I had the kids. And I had all that stuff happen while in the hospital. Me with the blood clots, my kids in the NICU and stuff like that. And I hear, I'm praying for you. All right, well, come see me then. You know what I'm saying? Like, faith without works is dead. Like, come see your friend. Because I feel like I would have been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just asked them in my head. Now I realize that they were really being selfish, because they would rather go outside and go to these different restaurants instead of, okay, my homegirl told me, because I did tell them this, if you want to come see the kids, they had the invitation. If you want to come see the kids or come see me, just don't be outside for a few days because I don't want them bringing nothing inside. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. And months went by, even when I had one twin here and the other one in the NICU, and we going back and forth, just tired. And I'm telling my friend, like, I'm tired. Like, I can't, I can barely operate. And nobody came to wash a bottle. Like, come wash a bottle or something. Help me. And to me, in my head, those were pivotal moments in my life that it was hard for people to show up. It wouldn't be hard for me to show up like that. And I was like, yeah. I couldn't, after I sat on it for a while, we were supposed to talk, but she couldn't stay from being outside to come and talk to me or to even have a conversation on the phone. That liberation thing, coming out of depression and stuff, and you want to be liberated and free. I'm outside. All right, but your friend's suffering. Yeah. And I thought about it, and I sent both of them text messages, and it wasn't nothing rude. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna have to let whatever this is go. Actually, I told both of them I needed to step back. One of them gave me, tell me something. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. God confirmed it. And in my head, I was like, God didn't confirm that. If you watching it, God didn't confirm that. It was emotional. Yeah. It was emotional because I know you can feel sometimes when somebody is backing away from you. Yeah. I'm not going to say what else I think that's rooted in because I don't want to get into that psychological stuff. Yeah, yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, I need to cut her off before she cut me off type thing. Which, okay, cool. If God confirmed it, Godspeed. But that one friendship where I said that was my dog for years, I was disappointed in that response because she was like, I respect your decision. And I was like, wow. Because in my head, it's like, I didn't even say, I don't want to be our friends no more. I'm just saying, I got to step away from whatever this is. And those were the responses. And I went to therapy and I talked about it. I think I've still mentioned it in the last couple of sessions because sometimes I actually have dreams about it. But I know that's the way my brain processes and that's how I grieve sometimes. But for the simple fact of I waited so long to step away. And I was going to ask you, like, how do you know when it's time to let it go? I knew it was time for me to let it go because it was one of those things where, yes, I was in a different place in life because now I got twins and I got a husband. Not stepping away because I really I had those things, but stepping away because now it's starting to bother my mental. Right. And I have those things in my life now. Yeah. I don't want that on my mental to where it's making me depressed. And I have kids that's going through things that I done had to do CPR on them kids. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's one of those things for me where it was time. I didn't want to let it go, but it was time because I got tired of the stubbornness. Yeah. Because it was starting to affect me in a bad way.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much the main reason for me. Like I'll say in my case, because there's that lack of communication, it's kind of hard to say when do I let it go. But I think that if after having a conversation and there's still the same, like things are still the same, and then I'll feel like, okay, well maybe I just walk away. You know what I'm saying? Or even especially if I'm in that situation where I find myself, I feel like to a certain extent I'm gonna be an outsider anyway. Because I'm just not gonna be doing a lot of the things, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it would really take for me to really just kind of have that talk and see if things were even just to see how they feel, because I don't know, they
You don't
might not
know.
even want to walk away too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in your case, like, I've had situations like where people are don't reciprocate, just even after having conversations with them, and it's still no changes. It's like, okay, you only can give a person but so many
So many chances.
chances.
And then you find yourself giving them a lot of chances though. That's what I mean. Like, when do you know when to cut it off? Because that's 12 years. I'm not saying it wasn't always bad, but it's been one sided. And like I said, I felt like it was a transaction. Like, I do this for you, but I'm still gonna stay
Right.
away.
But even then, it's like, do you even call that a friendship? It's like I wouldn't even look at that as a friendship. I wouldn't even put that title on it.
On the friendship. Well, see, it's one of those things, and this is what get me in trouble, and this is what I process in therapy. When I know a person's situation, I tend to let things slide because I understand where the pain is coming from that you're having, or I understand why you putting this wall up. We've had conversations where I'm like, this is going on, but we talked about it.
Yeah.
We moved on.
Right.
But with that particular friend, it's like, I don't know. She just couldn't do it.
Stubborn.
She's very stubborn. You stubborn. You stubborn. If you watching, you stubborn.
Stubborn.
God, Lee ain't never seen nobody so stubborn. But
That pride, man.
it's a couple things that I have processed, and we talked about when do you let it go? When do you know when it's time to let it go?
Right.
But also, do you fix it? Like, do you fix it when it's falling apart?
Right.
For that 1,200 time, do you fix it?
So, I have an issue with that. It's like it's almost as if it's almost like a thin line with me, because I like to fix things. I don't like things to be messed up and broken. I don't like none of that. But sometimes I just get tired, you know what I'm saying, of always being, I don't want to always be that one, like, to just fix something. Like, I want somebody else to say, you know what, I think our friendship is worth
being fixed.
Let me reach out and let me see what's going on with them and see what can be done, you know what I'm saying, to change what's, the dynamics of what's really going on in the friendship. And I want somebody to do that. I don't want to call, like, and it could be pride, could be stubbornness in me too, but
all the
time, I don't want to do that. I'm just being honest. I don't want to do it.
That's definitely something that I had to process of. Do you fix it? And I am a fixer because I feel like in my mind, this shouldn't be like this.
Right.
Because I feel like the situation with me and my homegirl shouldn't even be like this. Yeah. I don't want to say I've proven myself time and time again that I'm a good friend, but the evidence is there, I know I'm a good friend. Right. And when I know that, and I know what's going on with you and your trauma and stuff like that, like, I feel like, all right, well, she done had this happen, so I'ma still stay here. That was really my mindset a lot of the time. Like, I didn't want to walk away like I knew somebody had done to her.
Right.
But they did it, and they did it in a bad way. Like, I wanted to fight them. And I kind of still want to fight them because now look at the end result. Because now this person puts up a wall to you, and now you have to walk away. I don't know if she would see it as self-sabotaging, but I have to walk away because now you have this wall up with me, and it's not making me feel good.
Right.
But my mind makes me say, you know what? All we need to do is talk, and it'll be fine. But we've talked before. And so what would another conversation do? That's what my brain tell me. Like, what would another conversation do?
Right.
And so the other thing that we process is, how much grace do you give? How much grace do you give a person?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, man, we got some horrible thresholds.
Yeah, because
I know we got some bad thresholds.
I feel like I have an infinite amount of grace, but that's how I feel.
But that's
because
what gets you in trouble.
it does get you in trouble, and it gets you. You get hurt. If everything, just all that. It's just a lot of things that come with continuously giving somebody grace, especially after you've already spoken to them about the things that are bothering you. It's like, I don't want to have to keep repeating the same thing, because 9 times out of 10 it's the same thing.
It's the
not
same thing.
nothing different. It's
And then I feel like neither one of us really asks for a lot.
no.
It's real easy to be
easy,
friends,
like,
because it's like we so laid back and
just
chill. Like,
you don't gotta do too much. I'm to be honest, I really feel like the only thing I really require in a friendship or anything is reciprocity. I just
Reciprocity.
want you to treat me how I treat you, even if it's not to the same capacity, because we won't do the same
things.
thing. But please,
It gotta balance out.
it gotta
some kind of
balance
way.
out some kind of way.
Yeah,
I'm simple, man.
that's wild.
I'm simple.
That I feel like I'm simple too, but
I-
maybe, but simple things seem big to people who've had traumatic experiences.
Yeah. I guess
So where it's small to us, it's probably big to them. And I have to be okay with that.
yeah.
If they okay with it, then I have to be okay with it. Not to say it don't hurt, because it hurt,
Right.
because I did not want to I didn't want to let it go.
And you know what? I don't even see anything wrong with if that person or whoever were to come to you and say, "Hey, look, I know I've been this way towards you," and boom, boom, y'all had to talk. If they were to come to you, I don't even see nothing wrong with giving. I don't see nothing wrong with having grace then or
To
them then. But
or maybe not, because we done talked before. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't mean to cut you off,
No, you good.
but I keep forgetting this. Something that I heard Darius Daniels say one time, because somebody was like, "How do you know when a person has changed? Like, you can let somebody back in your life." And he said, if the same reason that you left is still there, don't go back.
Hey, well,
I said, that helped me when I was grieving my ex.
right.
And I was like, you know what? We can't be friends.
That makes sense. then.
That makes sense.
It
You're like,
makes
you
sense.
still the same.
Still the same. I see. Yeah.
I can't do it. So it's one of those things where you miss them, you hate that it's like that. But if the reason that I left is still happening, if you're still distant, if you still have a wall up and only want to deal with me like this, then I can't be there, because that's not conducive
Right.
to how I operate. I've learned things that trigger me. And not to say that everything is perfect, but it's some things that I malfunction under.
Yeah.
And I will malfunction under somebody not reciprocating what I bring to the table. Like
Right.
you said, maybe not to the same capacity, but if I'm there for all of your milestones and your events and going to parties with your people, not parties, but birthday
Yeah.
parties and stuff,
Yeah.
celebrating your people and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's hard for you to do that over here. Like, I had to think. I've had these birthdays with you around here, and we hadn't went to celebrate my birthday yet, but I've gone to your celebration. Sacrificing, So it's one of those things where it's on a scale for me. And when the scale starts doing this, and the only way to balance it is for me to get off.
Hey.
I don't know, that might be a word from somewhere. But the only way to balance it is to get off.
Well, and that's just what it is.
That's crazy.
You just gotta have that wisdom, that discernment to know
Yeah.
when it's time to let it go.
Yeah. But we got a letter.
Do.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
We should not
We should
know that.
Yes, we should know that. We should know that. You got it?
I do. I
Okay.
have it. All right. So, like she said, we have a letter. It says, "Dear good friends, throughout the years, my best friends and I have grown apart in a few significant ways. We have been friends for 2 decades. We still talk from time to time, but it feels like we are worlds apart, and I question the purpose of our conversations. I had hoped to have a positive impact on them, but it feels like talking to a wall, and I am left feeling as if they are addressing a younger, less mature version of myself. They engage in behaviors such as drinking and infidelity, and they live with the anxiety of being caught. Should I feel obligated to encourage these friends to change, or should I simply move on before they potentially corrupt me? Thanks, an on the fence friend."
And to give a little more context,
right.
because we had to get some clarification. This is a guy, has a family now, and his friends go out, party, drinking, like he said, and he constantly talks to them, to try to change them, because he not going to hang out with them because he don't want to jeopardize what he has going on in life, and also be around temptation. So it's like what you were talking about earlier. It's like people, places, and things.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he does not want to fall into a lifestyle
Right.
that he was once in, because now he has things to lose. And so it goes back to what you were saying about with friendships. Like, you still love them,
Yeah.
but you no longer do those things. So it's like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah. And you have to, I think with those situations, like situation like his, you have to really like understand what you putting at risk by still putting yourself in those
situations.
like, and especially if he said he's worried if they have the potential to corrupt him. Like, you don't want to be around anybody,
Infidelity.
and that alone is enough to know, especially if you've already if that was a part of what your past. If that's your past, you don't want to be in your future, like, your present life, your future life, something that you left behind. You don't want to bring that into your current situation, especially if it's different from what it was.
That's tough, because 2 decades, and you have to worry about being around your friends because they cheating on their girlfriends and stuff like that. But you constantly trying to talk to them to say, hey man, you gotta do right. I feel like that's really all you could do is have those conversations with them, and hopefully they change their lifestyles. Right. But as far as, it's one of them things like in the Bible, you gotta flee from temptation. Like, I think everybody has their thing to where they can be tempted. And if that's his thing to where he could be tempted, then being around familiar things could put him at risk to cheating. And it sounds like he don't want to cheat.
Because I feel like a lot of that stuff anyway it's a domino effect or something. You out there partying, you drinking.
You're not sober.
The next thing is probably the temptation to go out there and cheat.
And do something.
Because they do something you shouldn't be doing.
Because there's a lot of wolves out there.
It's a lot. So,
and for some reason, when you had that ring on,
They flop.
they flop. It don't matter. Like with my
Oh,
husband,
man.
they can see his ring.
And still be trying it.
I done been in the stores with him, and I've seen women still look at him and try to get his attention.
That's crazy.
And it's like this. Let me tell you, it's so crazy because one time we went in the store, and I saw the girl. I looked at the girl. I was like, "She's pretty."
Yeah.
She was very pretty, and she was one of them girls. But she had the blah blah, you know,
Yeah.
plickety blah. She had that, and so I wasn't looking for it because I just be going about my business sometimes. But I saw her, but I saw Abram. It's like he looked and saw what kind of girl it was, and he said, I ain't never seen nobody like I could see it from him. Yeah, he was like, it's almost like he was like, nah.
So he knew.
He knew. I wanted to laugh because it was so. I appreciate it though because
Right.
it let me know that
Yeah. He got eyes for you.
he got eyes on me. Like he got eyes, and of
he
course, if
also-
I'm pretty sure if I could see her and be like,
He saw it too.
Yeah, he saw it too. Like people got
Yeah.
eyes. You ain't
blind.
blind.
Nobody's blind.
Nobody blind. But that joker,
We all human.
that joker looked away so fast. I was like, "That's mine."
You better look away.
You better look away. But it was something that,
Mm.
because I feel like I've seen men with their women, and I've been like, you can see a couple, but you can see somebody walk by, and the man still trying to.
Yeah,
Like
they
I've
gonna be
seen
looking
that
now.
before. So in my head, when I saw that, I was like, okay, we can get married.
Yeah.
You know, because he wasn't my husband then.
Okay, y'all
I
was
think
just
we was
dating.
just engaged.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. This it's all right here. So I say that to say, like, it's very easy to be out here with your friends and your wife is home and
Yeah.
you get into something and come home. Because there's consequences. You can bring something back home.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd hate for mine to bring something back home, baby, because I'm gone.
I hate it too.
With whatever you brought back home, I'm gone. It ain't no we might as well stay together. No,
might
I'm gonna
well
go
leave.
on ahead and
Right.
leave with whatever you gave me.
We might as well be together.
Nah, no, I don't know. We're not. I don't care what that is. I got it, and I'm gonna get it and go over here. That's crazy. Ain't it?
That's crazy.
But I think we really answered his question during the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Like when you're in a different space, your friendships are in different
Right.
spaces too.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you have to have a plank out like this.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Because it's nothing wrong with still,
saying, hey,
saying,
what's up?
hey, what's up? Checking on how
Checking
you
on
see how
you.
you doing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
You just can't be
interacting.
interacting the way that you would, would have.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
And sometimes that's probably what be the friendship at the end of the day. It's like, okay, we not the closest of friends anymore, but
You still my dog.
you still my dog. I still,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. Because it's one of them things too. You can't tell me about mine. If I have to, I'll fight somebody for you and then go on back about my business.
back
But
my
you ain't
business.
gonna do it
But
over
you're not
here.
about to. No.
So, yeah, on the fence, friend. I think having that distance, and just knowing to keep that distance until
yeah.
they come
Yep.
over to the side that you on,
And hopefully maybe they see your life and
and want to
and want
change.
to change.
Yeah, but that's hard, and I know that that's hard
Yeah.
to know somebody that long, and you have to have that distance there. It's got to be a little lonely too because you see your friends going out and having fun, and you just like, dang, like they just doing everything without me.
It's like I feel like I want to make a point to that because it is lonely, and if you allow it, it'll have you in your mind thinking that you miss those things,
everything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like you'll be like, man, I wanna, because you know what I'm saying. You see your friends, you're like, man,
I want to
I
do.
want to do, you know
I
what I'm
wanna
saying?
have fun with y'all.
with my friends.
I want to have fun with y'all, but I don't want to do what y'all
Yeah,
doing.
Exactly. So it's like, but it'll make you feel like, like you miss those things, and it's really not the things that you're missing. It's just the people.
The people. But you hear it all the time in church. Like when God takes you to different levels, like it don't be nothing against the people.
Right.
But when you are on a different kind of level, then you actually do drop the friendships.
Yeah.
What was that I said the other day? You don't remember?
What you
And I
said?
was like, that's a word.
Dang, what you
When
said?
it was when I was
Oh, the
talking to
mountain,
one of
to
the
the babies.
Aleas.
You said,
The babies was crawling up. They were trying to crawl up on something, but they like to take like stuff with them.
yeah.
And so I looked at, it was Alea, I
It had to
think.
be Alea, 'cause
And
she
I
was
was
jumping off
like,
the thing,
what
like-
did I say? I was like, you can't take everything up the mountain.
Yep, you did. And I said, now that's, hey, that's a word.
That's a word.
Somebody
Yeah,
hit me
she
in
got
mine.
this pole and she trying
trying
to
to-
climb and not knowing that she can knock her out with
Gonna
the
hurt
pole.
yourself.
You're going to hurt yourself trying to
That's
take
true.
everything with you.
Yeah, it did. It did.
That did it.
It did.
I think we might need to end it there.
That's it.
That's
the word.
it. That's the
I
word.
don't gotta say nothing else.
Well, y'all, I think that's it.
That's all.
If you would like to write into us, your situations, your relationships, your friendships, all that, write in. What's the email?
The email is goodfriendpodcast1@gmail.com. Goodfriendpodcast1@gmail.com.
Please, when you write in, give us some context behind some things,
Right.
so that we're able to read and comprehend and give you the best advice that we can. I don't think we're bad at giving advice. I think we navigate life pretty good now.
I think so.
When I got to that point where
think
we
so.
can navigate life through some situations, right?
Yeah, because we've been through some things.
We've been through some things.
So
We want
I
to help
think,
you.
Yeah, don't be afraid to be vulnerable, and open, honest.
We won't tell nobody.
Nope.
You're my little secret.
And on that note,
that's how we should keep it.
okay.
All right, y'all. See y'all later, good friends.
Alrighty.
Peace.
That's my good friend. Good friend. Good friend. That's my dog, that's my partner. She like my sister and I love her. That's my good friend. Good friend. Good friend. I can call when I need ya. If you're hungry, I'ma feed ya. You're my friend. Lunch on me, friend. Order what you want. You like. Cause last time you covered me.